Hello, this video is going to be a quick showcase of how you can use Pinggy and Cloudflare to expose services running on your local PC in your home network to the internet. So this site you see here is accessible on a domain name on the public internet. The interesting thing here is that this entire site is actually running on my laptop. It's not actually running on some server in Amazon somewhere. It's running directly on my machine, and we can see that if I make some changes to the source code here and save that, you'll see that the changes are recognized in my terminal and reflect in the main page. So yeah, let's close all this and then take a little look into how all that works. So if we go to this window here, this is essentially what's happening. So we have a HTTP site exposed on port 8080. That traffic is wrapped in a self-signed cert and exposed on a TLS port. That TLS port is exposed through Pinggy. Pinggy essentially allows us to expose any port on our local machine to their services, and then they make that port accessible on a random URL and a random port on the public internet. So yeah, once we have that random URL and port, we can use the Cloudflare API to point our site to that URL and port, and after the DNS records are propagated, the local site is then accessible on the public internet. So yeah. You can see Pinggy's site here. It's extremely easy to use. You can actually use it without any kind of authentication at all. That's probably the coolest thing about Pinggy when compared to other tunneling applications, and there are a lot of them. Some of them are probably usable without authentication as well, but Pinggy is just the one that I found interesting. You probably know Cloudflare already. I'm just using this as a way to programmatically change my DNS records. And then that other program that we're using, SoCat and MakeCert. So we're using MakeCert to just randomly generate a key and a certificate, and then we're using SoCat to wrap a TCP socket in a TLS port. The only security benefit that gives us is that Pinggy can't inspect our traffic, but Cloudflare can still inspect your traffic. And yeah, the main security issue with this whole approach is exposing your PC to the internet. It's not really other people seeing what you're running or what you're passing through your HTTP connection. So yeah, if you do anything like this, I guess just be cautious. So yeah, if we run that whole thing again, we can go back to our website. This takes about 20 seconds for the DNS records to propagate. But yeah, once they do, we can see our site one more time. One last thing, Pinggy actually provides a little console that lets you see how much traffic you sent and received. Right now, everything is on like a pretty generous free tier. Like, you don't even need to log in. There's no total upload or download limitation. The only limitation they have in place right now is your upload rate and your download rates are capped. So I guess if you want to do anything high bandwidth, you should look into other services. But if you just have a light website you want to expose to the internet and you have a domain name, I guess Pinggy is free and Cloudflare is free, provided you have the domain at least, and you can do some pretty cool stuff. Thanks.